Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Revving with a different video from the usual, but one that I'm very excited about nonetheless. Everything kind of happened fairly quickly, so it's still feeling a little surreal to me, but so excited to walk you guys through this place. Everything to do with this channel is kind of showing my passion and hobby of cars, and so anything that revolves that, I kind of want to showcase that just because, I don't know, I'm too excited to keep to myself, but I have been out of space in my home garage for a little bit of time. For the last maybe three and a half months, I've been keeping a car in storage. I mentioned that in a previous video. It was actually that car there, the 2014 GT500. And it was an awesome storage place. It's called Petrol Lounge if you guys are around the Central Texas or Austin area. It was a fee for sure to pay, and so I knew that one day I would like to get an auxiliary garage, just an extra building to kind of keep the cars, and more than that, kind of have like a cool hangout spot. Well, I've been in the market for a car condo slash flex space type of area not far from me. I've also got my real estate license, so I have been checking the MLS kind of every other day, just kind of seeing if anything were to pop up. And well, this building popped up, but like quite a while ago to where I did actually see it some time ago. And it was really just kind of tire kicking, but not until like recently I started taking it a little bit more seriously. Threw in an offer, see what would happen, and started kind of progressing from there. So closed on this building just a couple days ago, and so I'm so excited to walk you guys through it. In addition to just storing and showcasing cars, I didn't realize just how much car memorabilia I have, just random things. I bought like the Ford GT ordering kit. I got so many magazines that feature when this car was unveiled, when the 2014 GT500 was unveiled, and just random cool car magazines that I like. But just in general, I have so much just random memorabilia, and it's like being kept away in storage and stuff in my house, in my attic, and just in random drawers. And I would love to have a place to just kind of showcase all that as well. But just in general, I think right now the market is so slow, and it kind of favors the buyer's market. So I got a pretty good deal on this. Not really worth, disclosing that just because my area and all that's gonna be a little different. But this place is so close to my house, and so it just worked out perfect for me. And it was a resale, not a new building, and the previous owner did quite a nice finish out. The walls are great, epoxy floor, and just did some really nice additions. With that, let's segue over to my plan. So as of right now, it's a great place, it works, and right now it's able to store a couple cars, which is perfect. But I'm definitely trying to maximize my space here. And so the previous owner had this bin pack, I think this is an APX 10. And so this is a cool lift, but this is a 2-post lift, and it conveyed with the property. So it's mine as of now, but as cool as lifts are, this is just not the kind of lift I'm needing. And that bad boy is bolted in there, so it's gonna be a bit of a job to get this out of here. But yeah, 2-post lift is great, but this is really for servicing cars, not so much long-term storage. So at some point I'll get a 4-post lift, and that's gonna be more for long-term storage. And where I'm gonna put it, in that corner or here or whatever, I don't know, but that's some ways away. For now, plan is to get rid of this bin pack lift. I have a buddy of mine who may be picking it up next week for me. So once that is gone, then I'll be able to round this corner a little easier and put 2 cars here. Speaking of space, confidently with plenty of elbow room, there's gonna be 4 cars in here, easy. I think if I play a little bit of Tetris, I should be able to get 5. So 1, 2, and then the cars will stick out just a little bit about right here. And then I don't have the length or the depth rather in this garage to go 3. But if I put them sideways, I should. So if I put this one at a bit of a sideways slant, or at least 2 of the cars here and at the very front, I think, depending on the cars obviously as well, but Mustang's concerned, which is a pretty average size for a sports car, maybe on the larger side, I think I should be able to get 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. And if I could do 5 on the ground without going vertical, I'm pretty happy. And then at some point, maybe I'll go vertical here or here, like I said. So 5 cars, I think. But yeah, the rest of my little punch list, I'll make this kind of quick. Once this lift is out of here, we're probably going to have to, I don't think we're filling that in. I think that's just gonna be cut where the bolts are, and then we're gonna have to do a little bit of a epoxy repair there to make it a little bit more seamless. Right now, the garage door is manual, so I definitely want to get some side-mounted LiftMaster top left there. There's some windows here as well. They're pretty dark from the outside, but I definitely want to tint them more. Yeah, somewhat for privacy reasons, a lot of it for UV reasons, allow some temperature to go on in there. Tucker might be sad about that. He gets a decent view, so he's a little peeper. Anyway, but that's going to be way on up there, and then there's some windows inside. I'll show you guys in a little bit. So what I would like to do is to have a really cool like mezzanine up there just to hang out, like a lounge area. So it definitely wasn't made for that, just looking at it. I have some footage from up there earlier. And it's got an HVAC system, so one, cool to have just for heating and cooling. but it's got some metal conduit pipes as well. So gonna have to move that over. Might get that HVAC duct, move it to hang around here, I would suppose. And then the conduit pipes will probably wrap around here. That way we have way more floor space and just nothing interrupts it. And then maybe at some point do some cool flooring, a spiral staircase right here just to not eat up a whole lot of floor space again. And then a cool railing on the side of it. Put a TV up there, some furniture, all that good stuff. It's gonna be kind of a short ceiling, but nothing too crazy. Funny enough, it was this morning I walked up there for the first time and it actually was more than I realized. If I have the stairs here, I might have to duck just slightly back here. It's about 5, I measured 5'8" without getting up there. Now that I've been up there, it's probably more like 5'9". So slightly tilting the head for some, and then all the way back here, it's a little more than 8 feet. And somewhere down the middle, I'm about like 5'10" or so. And down the middle, I have no problems. It doesn't feel claustrophobic or anything. So it'd be super cool to have just a hangout spot up there to overlook some of the cars here. Would just be a really cool vantage point, and just, again, just to have a loungy feel up there would be so cool. These were just some ideas that I had kind of brewing up in the back burner. I wasn't gonna really act on them too quickly. Then of course, I asked ChatGPT to give me some renderings. I saw it and I think it's so cool. So now I kind of want to do it sooner than later. Also, these walls, I have no problem with these white painted walls. I think they're really well done. The finish on them is great and everything, no imperfections. But even then, I'm just one that likes a darker, cozier, I don't know, loungy feel. And so I asked ChatGPT to paint the walls black, and I don't think I would want to go back. So at some point, although this looks nice and clean, at some point I think the walls are going to get painted, if not, you know, black, maybe like a slatish, dark gray or something. And then I think that's really going to tie in with the cozy mezzanine up there as well. I would say, let me know what you think, but I think I'm decided. It's just a matter of, do I want to spend that money right now? Maybe not, but at some point I think it'd be really cool to just darken the whole area up a little bit. And I think it'd be really cool to get some floating cabinets up here that are, you know, not on the ground. They're floating and they're, you know, tall enough to where a car can slide, you know, under it, just so it doesn't eat up floor space. I'm kind of protective of the floor space because I think I'm already going to be playing some Tetris. But yeah, if I could get something floating up here and just have all my car washing supplies and just overall some more things, or just things to display, I think it'd be kind of cool to do that at some point. All right, that all being said, let's go ahead and go to this interior part, which I may lose the interest of many of you guys because it's no longer the garage, but kind of ties together. This right here is a little, you know, kitchen break room area. And then here is where you do some real business. Got a bathroom here. That mirror came with the building, but it's super nice. I guess it's just too big for this area, so I'm gonna have to put a mirror here, some towel hangers, all the small stuff there. So again, no problem with the aesthetics of this place because it is neutral and, you know, can't go wrong with that. But again, I really like a darker, cozier vibe. So just for fun, again, taking a look at this room, here's how it looks like now. And I asked ChatGPT to make it look a little darker, and I'm into it. Some people might think it's a little too goth or whatever, but I just think it's so cozy, kind of spa feel. Now here is where I'm, you know, shooting a little too big maybe. And at some point I'll look into doing this. Maybe I'll get a quote for it, but I think it'd be so cool because we know what's on the other side of this wall. So you guys probably know where I'm going with this. But it would be so cool to do something floor to ceiling glass wall, and maybe it wraps all the way here, or at the very least just this wall and I get a glass door. Because if I do that, all of a sudden it makes a lot more sense to have some kind of cool living room here. So if I did some like couches or whatever, little bar area or something, and you could just see at least a car and a half or two from here. I just think it would be such a cool aesthetic. While I'm on the darker theme as well, some black roof tiles at some point as well would probably be worthwhile. Again, one more look in here. Not too sure what the theme would be here, but I don't know, something darker, and just constantly being reminded that you're in a place that is like themed around cars without overdoing it. I don't want it to look like a 7-year-old's bedroom, but I think there's a way I could do it. I'm not an interior designer by any means, but I think there's a way I can make a really cool, cozy, I don't know, manly kind of theme that's very inspired around cars and car memorabilia and all that. And if I could tie that in with the glass wall, that'd be cool, but man, that's probably gonna be an expense I don't want to do just yet. But anyway, that's at least a quick look at it. I know this is a car channel, and so why there was even a couple frames of toilets, you know, I hope it makes sense now. But this has definitely been a dream of mine, and I think I closed on this building like 3 days ago, and I've walked inside of it now probably 4 or 5 times after the fact, and it still doesn't feel real. Even though I have 2 of my cars here and my dog's walking around, it's cool, but it still doesn't feel like my space just yet. So very surreal. So happy about this opportunity, and again, part of it's kind of investment because I think it's a great time to buy, but until the markets pick up, or if they don't ever, I'm so happy because I got a big toy box, and before too long, it's gonna be a cool living quarters. And I just couldn't help not filming it. I don't want this to come off a bad way, but I just think it's gonna be really fun to document it, because if I do make some pretty cool progress with the building, it may not be for another month or two, or maybe at the end of the year, or maybe at the start of next year. It's just gonna depend on how much all this is gonna cost, but one thing at a time. I'm just happy to be in here. And like I said, I feel like it would have been wasted to not film it a little bit and share it, because I love these kind of videos about, you know, car condos and kind of building out like a dream garage. And so this certainly is a dream come true. And I'm sure by the time all my plans come to fruition with this building, I'm gonna want even more space. And so we'll get there when we get there. But for now, that does it for this video. That's a quick look at the new garage. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want more of these kind of garage update videos, be sure to subscribe. I can't promise how regularly I'm gonna do them. If all that happens is I get a garage door opener, I'm not gonna make a part 2 video to this. So I'll keep you guys posted when like big strides happen, but I can't promise how regularly that's gonna be. But it's gonna be fun nonetheless. If you guys wanna see it, then go ahead and subscribe and tune in. But that does it. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.